Well, we don't do that anymore. And farmers do not get paid by how many minerals are in your food. They get paid by tons and bushels per acre. And so really they're businessmen, and they could care less how many minerals are in the pasture for their livestock or how many minerals are in the hay or the feed they're giving their livestock. But as insurance, their insurance is different than ours. Instead of buying an insurance policy to pay the veterinarian when they screw up, their insurance policy is to give each individual animal by hand the minerals to assure they get them. It's very efficient economically. They're not just throwing those minerals in the ground and hope the plant takes them up. They're actually giving them one by one to the animals. And one of the ways to monitor how good this is production of meat per pound of feed, production of eggs, production of milk per pound of feed, and also longevity. For instance, when you and I were kids, Alex, an old dog was 8 years old. Today, an old dog is 25, and we didn't do that with wonder drugs. We didn't do that with things like organ transplants and stem cells and injected proteins. Basically what happened was we just put vitamins and minerals in our food. Well, the same thing is true for diabetes. What if, and this is true, and I'm just saying, what if the entire city of Austin were to listen to us today and say, okay, we're going to make Austin the first diabetes-free city, and it's doable within a couple of weeks. Everybody would take the 90 essential nutrients, the Alex pack, if you will, the Alex pack, the 90 essential nutrients, and then throw in what we call Sweeties, which is the secret sauce for diabetes, and take their blood sugar like they're supposed to, and it'll come down to wean off their medication, and Austin would be a diabetes-free city in a couple of weeks.
Now, Dr. Wallach, again, this is just one of the huge discoveries that you basically rediscovered, but going back, when I worked for Jess Adkins out in East Texas, large animal vet. When I worked for Billy Bob Dunn in Dallas, small animal vet. I mean, I didn't know about medical things. I was just listening to them. And so often they would talk about mineral and vitamin deficiencies. And here, give your dog these minerals, give them these vitamins. And then when I got into large animal husbandry for those 3 summers, I mean, it was all about that, and so much of it was, you need to put them on this feed, or you need to give them this block, and I've got family that ranches, they all know that, so this isn't some big secret for veterinarians, and of course you're a veterinarian and also a naturopathic doctor, so again, why aren't Americans who are having all these degenerative diseases and problems and things like diabetes, why aren't they being told this?
Well, you have to appreciate that a doctor is not required by law to cure you when there's a cure available. And this is the first thing I would do if I was ever appointed. When you get to be president, Alex, I want to be your first Surgeon General. I'll institute a law that every doctor should be curing people where there's cures available. Otherwise, they go to jail for 25 years to life without possibility of parole. And since their average lifespan for doctors is 56, none of them will ever get out of jail. So I like that part. At any rate, the reason why, for instance, it usually takes, depending on their body weight, $3 to $5 a day to get people to wean off their medication when they have diabetes and go back to a normal life. Can't legally use the cure word, so that's why I'm saying it the way I'm saying it. Then, by option, the alternative is if they treat people and teach them how to use insulin or pills to manage their blood sugar, which is a meaningless process, because elevated blood sugar is not the disease, it's a symptom of the disease, the doctor will make, the average family doctor who diagnoses it usually, will make $750,000. So you compare $300 with $750,000, which way are they going to go?
Now let's break that down. And, of course, the average doctor is just busy. They're just following what the American Medical Association says, and they subconsciously go along with it because it's profitable, and they've got all these bills and the rest of it. But, Doctor, how does it work? And, again, we're talking to Dr. Joel Wallach. How does it work down at the cellular level? How does not having all the trace elements and minerals and things that you need, how does that just in the one area of diabetes that we're talking about, there's so many other areas that we cover at InfoWarsTeam.com, one place to find all this information. We've got your free audio there. We're going to add a video of this show today there at InfoWarsTeam.com. Dr. Wallach, expanding on that, how does this interact at the cellular level, not having these minerals and nutrients, and what are those minerals and nutrients?
Okay, well, first of all, we need that basic 90 essential nutrients, the 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, and 3 essential fatty acids. That's the basic Alex pack. This is the platform that everybody needs just to prevent disease. I mean, I'm going on 72 here. I've been taking this myself since I was 9 years old for 64 years. And I have my own issues that caused me to begin to take this when I was 9 years old, which I resolved in 3 days, and doctors couldn't fix it.
Yeah, you do look very young. You don't look, I mean, you look like you're 50.
Well, thank you. Yeah, most people think I'm 50, but I'm 20 years older than that chronologically, and biologically I'm 18. My bone density test and my vascular elasticity is that of an 18-year-old, so I'm very proud of that. But I've been taking the 90 essential nutrients since I was 9 years old, and the whole purpose of that, Alex, is to do what we do for our cars. For instance, we put oil in our cars before the engine burns up. If you have an expensive car like a Cadillac or a Bentley or a Mercedes or something, you change the oil every 1,000 miles or every month whether you drive it or not. And so to prevent the engine from burning up, get an extra 300,000 miles in distance. Well, the same thing is true for us. People get all in a panic once they get fibromyalgia and lupus and diabetes and arthritis. And, well, the doctor says I got to get a double knee replacement tomorrow. I'm already scheduled. Well, cancel the darn surgeries and give me 30 days, and we'll rebuild the cartilage in your knees. It's that simple. It's just you need that platform of the 90 essential nutrients. Now, once somebody has a full-blown disease like diabetes, you have to add some of the secret sauce back in, which is, not, as you point out, not secret. In the case of diabetes, it's 2 trace minerals called chromium and vanadium. Now, if you just take chromium and vanadium by themselves, you would drop your blood sugar, say, from 220 to maybe 200. Not very dramatic, and people say, well, I can do that just by not eating fruit. And so why should I take those things? And if I'm paying it out of my own pocket, insurance is not paying for it, the government's not paying for it, why should I do it? Well, that's because when the research is done in animals, the animals are getting their basic laboratory rat, guinea pig, rabbit, or monkey pellets with all the nutrients in it, and they just leave out the one. They would leave out chromium or vanadium or both chromium and vanadium, but all the other 90 essential nutrients they're going to have in there. Whereas the average American doesn't have many of those 90 essential nutrients. They might be banging along in 12 or 15 or be 65 short. And so that's a big, huge problem. So when you take the chromium and vanadium, nothing dramatic happens. So that's why they have to take the Alex pack as a basic nutrient platform.
So basically, it's almost like an adjuvant. From talking to medical doctors and scientists and brain surgeons on this subject, fluoride is something that accelerates all of the other toxic things that are in you and almost gives it an acceleration effect or an amplifying effect. You're saying all the minerals and vitamins together, they have an amplifying effect because you need them all together. And to be quite frank, why Dr. Wallach is here and why I've approached him to have him on and to work with him, I was a health nut, and by health nut, running 6 miles almost every day, lifting weights, super good shape, 2% body fat when I was like 22. I got into radio, fighting the globalists, just quit working out, obsessed on it, eating unhealthy, and now for about 3 years, I've quit most of the unhealthy stuff, in fact, all of it. I've been running, I've been lifting weights, I've been eating less, but still, I haven't felt good. And now, in the last few months, I was doing research with Mike Adams and with Dr. Wallach and with so many other people looking at their material, studying the actual documents, and I really came up with the fact that I'm going to really announce this here today. I haven't even told Dr. Wallach this, and now I'm doing it publicly, so I got to put up or shut up. Last year I said I'd lose 50 pounds, only lost 25. I want to lose at least 40 pounds in this next year. That's my pledge. That's my resolution. And doing the research, it's not enough to go jogging in the morning or lift weights or even eat less. I have got, and I'm somebody who's never taken vitamins in my life, even when I played football. I've now gotten these products. I'm going to start them next week, and we're going to see what happens. But from all the research I've read, if I don't want my hair to go gray, which is all of a sudden starting to happen, I've got to get the nutrients. Even if I try to eat healthy, and my wife makes all sorts of vegetables and things, it's hard to get all of these things together, and that's what we need. And I would just think back to vets that I work for, obsessed with vitamins and minerals. And this is something the old-timers all knew. As Dr. Wallach said, he just discovered it in his own research and has now helped so many people. And it's It's so fundamental to get this message out to people. That's why we've created InfoWarsTeam.com. We're going to be adding banners up there. We've got free audio. We're going to be adding a bunch of video, a bunch of free material on this. But also, very inexpensively priced, big line of things for full spectrum. And what Dr. Wallach has developed over the last, 30, 40 years, I don't know how long he's been doing it, it's just so amazing. And I do believe in this, just like I believed in silver when it was $5 an ounce, and now it's almost 30. Just like I believed in gold when it was $260 an ounce, now it's right up at $1,400. I mean, I've done my research. Just like I bought storable foods 3 or 4 places and finally found a good place, and that's who my sponsor is. I've done my research, and now I found Dr. Wallach. I've known about him for 15 years, but I just went through my research because now I'm going to try to go on a health kick, and we're going to see right now what happens with the full line of longevity products, all discounted right there at InfoWarsTeam.com. And when you sign up there, you then get to get discounts on it. You can sign others up. This is a great way to create community organizations to educate people and in the free market, profit from helping people. Tell folks about what they can do by signing up or getting involved at InfoWarsTeam.com, Dr. Wallach.
Well, Alex, first of all, they're going to be able to get these products at wholesale. They'll save 30 to 40% from the marketplace. They're going to get products that are 1,000 times better from formulation standpoint and amounts. For instance, in some cases we have 3,000 times the minimum daily requirements of the vitamins. We have maybe 500 times the minimum daily requirement for minerals. Whereas when you get something off the shelf of a grocery store or pharmacy, these one-a-day multiple kind of things, you're looking at 20% of the minimum daily requirement. And so this is why people tend to be in a downward spiral. Also, for a one-time $10 fee, I believe it's a $10 fee, you get a business. And we will train you for nothing. We will train people. We do conference calls, webinars. We have regional and national meetings, local meetings. And they can not only help themselves with their health, the people they love, they can generate an income stream, have a tax-deductible business, which is a willable asset. And this is the part that I love, Alex. You can work for a company for 40 years, be the best employee they have, the go-to person to fill in when somebody's not there, or train the new people. You're the one they give the overtime to. When you retire or die, you cannot will or sell your job to your heirs. But your longevity business, you can do that. We're very, very excited about our association with you because you're going to get the word out. And in this economy, we're going to help people stay away from doctors by keeping them healthy before they get sick. We're going to help people cancel those double knee replacement surgeries and let us help them rebuild their knees. We're going to help them rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, bone. It's doable. We do it with professional athletes and military personnel all the time. We do it with people with firemen.
Because minerals and vitamins are what we're made up of.
That's exactly right. I mean,
it's real simple. And so many of the vitamins I see on store shelves, doctor, as you know, it's synthetic versions. You guys actually have the raw, true vitamins and minerals. Explain to people briefly the difference.
Well, the difference is everything we have comes from plants and bacterial fermentation. Grinding up rocks doesn't count. For instance, if you have salt water source of minerals, which is a liquid mineral, we love liquids because they're easily absorbable, you can only get 985 milligrams of minerals from salt water, whether it's the Great Salt Lake or the oceans around the world. And in ours are from a certified organic plant source. So this plant compost, if you will, has been certified organic every year for 35 years. So you can actually see the
it's a biological source, so it's ready to be sucked up by your body. It's living.
It's living. It's already been predigested by the plants, and so you don't have to do that. And we're going to give you 19,000 milligrams per quart, 20 times what you get, and ours is cheaper than everybody else's.
Amazing. It's InfoWarsTeam.com. The site's loading slowly. A lot of folks on there, InfoWarsTeam.com. Over the years, I've been approached by a lot of folks to promote, these team organization things, and I just couldn't totally certify or believe in it. This I do believe in, InfoWarsTeam.com. Get involved right here on the ground floor today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll come back with the final segment with Dr. Wallach.